Hello, good morning. So, of course, I did wake up exactly at 3 a.m. last night. But you know what? I'm trying to get myself situated. I thought, I do not want to get up out of this bed and do a video. I did. So I just laid there. And as I was laying there, I heard something. And it was like, that's what it sounded like. That is what it sounded like. And I looked around and I thought about the time that I woke up and how everybody else is waking up around that time. And I thought, that's the other realm. That's what I thought, the other dimension. That whatever, that little thin veil, it really was. It was like, and that's about as long as it went. Now, granted, I'm up here in this loft area. There's no one else around me. There's no other noise. I'm up against the wall, and that's what I heard. And I thought, you know what? You're not going to scare me, and I'm not going to acknowledge your presence. That's what I told myself. I am not going to acknowledge your presence. And I didn't. I was singing a song in my mind. And I thought, I'm not going to fear. I'm not going to give in to fear at all. And I didn't. I kept my peace within. I waited to see if I would hear it anymore. But it sounded like it was near, but I did not acknowledge it. I did not want to give it my energy, my approval, my consent for it to show itself or even make even more noise while I was laying there awake, you all. That's right. So I didn't. But I really did. I thought, okay, it's around 3 a.m. Everybody's being woken up. And somebody says it's the witching hour or something like that. And now, for the first time, I've heard a noise like that. It was kind of like, it was like a growl, It was. And it was right in this room somewhere, right behind the veil, you all, is where it was at, behind the veil. And someone said, you all, who said that it was, the veil gets very thin between those hours. Hello, everyone. Someone said that in the one live stream I did around 3 a.m., the veil is very thin between that early morning. But I could have gave in to fear. Had it been several years ago or so, and I heard something like that, my eyes, if it was years and years ago and I heard something like that, my eyes would get really big. I would become stiff as a board. I would try not to even move or breathe. That's what I would probably done if it was years and years ago, because I would not have had any knowledge or any indication of what I know now. I would not have had the information or the knowledge of that right there. Why you haven't had any of these experiences, I don't know. Yeah, when you was in 4th grade. So, yeah, if you're just tuning in, I did hear a noise, and it sounded like this. It's like that. It was very audible. It was loud, as if it was in this room behind the veil. And I noticed I was right up against the wall. There's no one else around. And I was singing a song in my heart anyhow, keeping my frequency high, very high. And I didn't want to do a YouTube video. I just lay there and sing within my heart and did not give it permission to make another noise, another sound, or even to elicit fear within my being. I did not give in to it. I would encourage you, if that happens to you and you hear something like that, and there's no one else around, and you're waking up around 3 something in the morning, just sing a song in your heart. You can say the name of Jesus if you want, or you can say another name. Whatever it does that keeps your frequency high within your being and keeps you at peace. That's right. Don't even give it your attention, because that's what it wants. You have to initiate the contact. Once they make a contact, you have to respond. I chose not to. I didn't. And it didn't go any further than that. I laid there for another 20 or so minutes, and then I went back to sleep. I thought, I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to ignore you. That's right, Michelle. Do not consent. And I didn't. Your old house would pick up the growling sounds in slow-mo. Wow, Johanna. Yeah. It does. It wanted my attention, and my spirit, what is this on my shirt? My spirit acknowledged it. Oh, it's paint. It's stain on this shirt, I guess, or a bleach stain or something. My spirit was not going to acknowledge its presence and talk back to it. No, I didn't. You don't have to. You don't. And the spiritual realm knows that you do not have to respond. You can ignore it. Hello. I had some good rest. I did. It's so nice sleeping in a bed that's not that memory gel or whatever it was, you all. I don't like those types of beds. I don't. I like a firm mattress. I slept really well, except for waking up at 3 a.m. The Midwest, you haven't slept. Yeah, Lori. I've never experienced that before, ever. I haven't. But as a lot of people say who are really in tune with the spiritual realm, and I guess it's their main focus, they'll tell you that's when the veil is the thinnest. And they say that the bad that's behind that spiritual veil, they don't care no more. They're coming out in the open. They are. And you have to ask yourself, what gave them that boldness? What gave them the boldness to do that? Because there is, you are, strength in numbers. We know that. And they know that. Who or what is giving them that boldness to where they're multiplying and becoming stronger? Who is it? Or what is it? What's causing it? Because we know that we can encourage one another and build each other up. And we know that there's strength in numbers. They know it too. And they're becoming bolder, just like us. We're becoming bolder. Yeah. October is a weird month. Well, I want to remain calm. I do. And that would drive my husband up a wall. As I would sit there, he'd be upset talking about something, and I just sit there and, yeah. There's lots of women like that and lots of men like that who will just remain calm, really. You moved after your mom was attacked. They thought lying until it happened to mom. Wow. You know, this other realm, it does have that capability to manifest into our realm right now. Physical manifestation. Even though you may not see a solid figure, they are physically manifesting in their spiritual form into our realm, is what they want. And the moment you give in to the fear, the moment they start becoming bold and initiate more, whatever they're doing, you all. Don't do it. Don't initiate contact with them unless you're somebody who is really well versed and experienced in that type of realm, and that is your job to cast out those types of beings and stuff and to make them flee. Don't do it, because they'll tear you to pieces, especially if they know that there is even a shred of fear within you, even like a little bitty minuscule thing. They know whether your spirit is serious or not. They do. They know how far they can push you. They do. How far they can get with each individual, because they like scan you over spiritually and see what you got on the inside. I wonder if they even see your aura when these beings from this realm behind this thin veil, wonder if they can see your aura when they roam around the earth. It's all around the earth. They are, you all around the earth. Your aunt was under an influencer, and oh wow, they do have that power. Heal your trauma, release it, and let it go. You've had this happen so much more lately, a war in your dreams and your worst fears. They say that Cthulhu can do that. He can enter your dreams. And there was some other thing in mythology, but it ain't really mythology. There were some other names they gave to those type of beings. And when we did a wiki fandom thing about the first interdimensional warfare that was ever waged, it was waged against, it was waged by Russia. It was, that's what they said in the wiki fandom. Even though wiki thing is supposed to be make-believe, they waged the first interdimensional warfare against their enemies. But you know that we all have faced it on an individual level, time and time. We have. And if you haven't, I am so happy that you haven't. Don't. It's not nice. But you face battles every day in your life as it is. Some are horrific and some not so horrific. You heard 3 knocks. Anne Stevenson, when you've heard 3 knocks that time, you all, let me talk about these knocks. When you heard 3 knocks, what did you feel after you heard the 3 knocks? After, you being awake and you hear them, what did you feel? Was it a fearful feeling, a somebody's trying to get my attention feeling and I need to listen? Because that's important too. And how on your window, you heard the knocks the other day. See, I'm trying to gauge it. I've heard knocks before, 3 knocks. I actually heard it before I started this journey. I was laying in bed in the middle of the night and I heard my name called. It was 3 loud knocks. And I looked around and I thought, who is calling my name? It was a man's voice. And I just laid there. And I knew it was on wood, 3 knocks. And I wasn't scared, but I knew within my spirit someone wanted my attention. Someone wanted my attention. They were trying to get it, and they got it. Let's see. No, Deb Mosley, honey. Not all the time, I think, maybe. Not all the time. I wasn't scared. But I was going through an awakening myself. I wasn't scared about that. Now, sometimes I'm sure people do feel a feeling of, okay, this is not good at all. I'm hearing it. Yeah, hello there, Apple Brooks. So you all, it was in the middle of the night, and 3 a.m. I was woken up, and I heard something, and it was like this. And I looked around, and I was right up against the wall sleeping, and there's no one else up here. And I thought, okay, I know what it is. The veil is thinner. Somebody said the veil is thinner, And whatever it was, no, it wasn't no snoring. Um, it was like a growl. It stopped. It was just like that, and then it totally stopped. Yeah. But I had a song in my heart. I did not initiate any contact whatsoever with it. I did not let fear enter my being. I laid there and kept singing the song in my heart, and I thought, I'm not going to allow fear to get into my being at all. I'm not. Um, and so I didn't hear it no more at all. Didn't hear it no more. And I didn't want to get on here and do a video at all. I didn't. That's right, you all. Because I think it wanted contact, but I wasn't going to give it. And then I thought, well, I could sit here and think of what type of being, a spiritual being, would be there making that type of a noise. But I didn't. I thought, no, I'm not even going to allow my mind to try to figure out what type of a being would be making that noise. That's what I said. I'm not. I dropped it and minded my own business, which was trying to get back to sleep. That's it. Yeah. Sir Jigsaw, honey, you better play nice on Gina's channel. Yeah, this ain't no game. You may think it is game, but yeah, it ain't. You be a good boy. That's right. Well, hello there, Rainbow Turtle. Yeah, I miss being on here. Somebody got him out. Yeah. Cryptids, it's something. Something, you all. Our world's been turned upside down. It has been literally turned upside down. And I know Deb on her channel, she shares pictures, as she takes pictures of the woods. And she has these branches and sticks. They're all arranged way up there in the trees and stuff. They got bends in them, and some of them are bent in other strange ways, like maybe around 7 or 8 feet tall. They're rearranged in weird ways. Okay, and it doesn't look like a human would have done it. And I'm sitting there thinking, how did that happen? How did these? Because you ever see that in the woods, you all? If you go out and take pictures and you pay attention to the branches and limbs and sticks, great big long sticks, rearranged in strange looking ways, and you think in Sasquatch. Yeah, but she documents that when she goes in the woods. And I see her pictures on the Facebook, and I'm thinking, that does really look strange. I don't know how that happened at all. The Watchman, that's right, could be Bigfoot. I don't think it's anybody outside wanting to do that because, hey, Deb's coming out here to take pictures. I think we're going to rearrange these large branches and stuff. We're going to climb up in the trees. We're going to do this and that because she's going to take pictures and document them. I don't think they're going to do that. But yeah, it's weird. You heard of braid Norse tales? You woke up 3 a.m. Yeah, I woke up last night at 3 a.m. and I said, I'm not getting on here. I'm tired. I fell right asleep. I thought, I am even too tired to do a video after I did that short one last night. I said, I didn't promise to do it. I said, if it's meant, because I did not realize how exhausted I was, you all. That's right. You woke up at 2:30. So, yeah. So there is a thinning of the veil is what is happening, and the beings are becoming bolder because they too know their strength in numbers, just like we do. We know there's strength in numbers. We try to encourage each other and build each other up. We do to be strong and courageous and bold. Well, the spiritual realm, the darkness knows it too. They do. So yeah, the energy is high. Unstable, Gina. Who is unstable? Take care of yourself. I'm not unstable at all. I I hope you're not trying to say, Gina, honey, you are unstable, because that's not very nice. It really isn't nice to say something like that. I could take that in a very negative way, which my spirit did take it. Maybe you didn't mean it that way. Last night, warning. Okay, not true. Okay. They're attracted to the light. That's right. Yeah. CERN. Somebody said something about CERN. They did something else recently, and it wasn't good. Yeah. You wake up at a 13th, either adding and subtracting. Yeah. Well, he might have said we're living in an unstable world. Take care of yourself, Gina. I can look at the flip side of it. The world is very unstable. The ground is unstable, and it gets shaky at times, and we don't want to fall. We want to stay grounded on the inside of our beings. We want to keep that balance within. We want to keep the peace within, and we don't want to give in to fear. We don't. We want to stay focused, and the only way you can do that is if you're heart-centered, right there, with love at the core of your being. Boom. Deeply rooted in your being. Just imagine yourself as a great big gigantic tree with your roots reaching deep, deep, deep within the earth. Unmovable. Unmovable. Even though they may try to cut you down at the base, your roots go too deep in the earth, because you will re-sprout. You'll re-sprout and continue to grow. So that's the best type of tree you want to be, with deeply, deeply embedded roots into the earth. That's right. Yeah. So, yes, that's right, you all. Yeah, you all, please hit that thumbs up button, give this video a like, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't subscribed. Well, some people say I have subscribed, but I don't get notifications. Well, a lot of times they don't give out notifications, and a lot of times they unsubscribe people from lots of YouTube channels, is what they do. Yeah. So, TLR123, thank you. That sounds interesting. TLR123. Yeah, if I say it really fast. Love you all too. So I'm just going to just reiterate that I heard something this morning around the 3 a.m. hour. I woke around 3 o'clock in the morning, just wide awake, and I thought, well, I could do a YouTube video, but I'm not. I'm so exhausted. I was exhausted. I laid there for around 15 minutes, and I heard a just like that, but it was really loud. There's no one up here with me. Okay, this room is the most soundproof room in the house. That's why I'm up here. And I knew there was something up here, you all. I did. But I was already singing a song in my heart. Had a song in my heart. And I was going to think, well, what type of being could do that? But I didn't allow my mind to wander. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to give in to fear, even though I heard that. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not. I can hear it and know it's there, but I'm not going to let it know or make contact with it at all. I was not, and I did not. I just continued to sing a song in my heart. And then I lay there until I went to sleep. So that's what I heard. It was like a growl. And it was right here in this room, and the veil is supposed to be very thin. But it was not allowed to manifest into my physical world, cross that line where the veil is and come into my side. It stayed on that side. I didn't give it permission, and I won't. I won't, you all. So if that happens to you, if you hear something, you can hear it and know something's there, but don't let it go any further. Don't give in to fear. Do not speak out whatever. Speak to it, because even if you speak to it and tell it to go away or something, it's going to know that you have literally now officially acknowledged it. No, I didn't. Just ignored it and kept the song in my heart. I did. So I am going to go, you all. I'm getting kind of hungry. I didn't eat this morning. Thank you for being on here. Thank you, Deb and Applebrooks, honey, for moderating. And if there's any other moderators on here, thank you. And thank you all for your comments. Share your experience if you've heard something in the wee hours of the morning. And have you been noticing that more often or not? Yeah. So with that being said, you all, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Thank you.